was about 20 years ago. I was just starting on my path of being a professional medium. And I was in my apartment in Manhattan at the time. It was a hot night, so all the windows were closed. And then a little white feather just started to float down from the top of the ceiling. Now, I'm pretty sure that an invisible little white bird wasn't flying around my bedroom, but I do know, or at least I sensed that my grandma was around. So I went into a meditation and I asked, Grandma, what's it like on the other side? I'm beginning my path as a medium. People are going to want to know, people are going to ask. So as soon as I asked, all of a sudden I was transformed in this beautiful emerald forest, 10 times more beautiful than anything on earth. And I wasn't just seeing it, I was there, smelling it, tasting it. I was there just for a split second. And then when I came out of it, I asked, so Grandma, it's like being in a beautiful forest then? And what I heard in my mind was, for you, it's like being in a beautiful forest. And that spoke volumes to me because I am a very avid hiker and backpacker. I spend a lot of time in the woods. I live in the woods. I love the woods. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 11 signs of the afterlife, and we'll solve the mystery of life after death. So if you're interested in finding out more, please stick around. Hi, Adam here, and my job is to help you awaken. So if you like this video and you want to see more content like this, please hit the little subscribe button and then hit the little bell icon, and then YouTube will notify you every time I release new videos or do live events. So let's say you just died. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Let's say that you're 110 years old and you went to sleep and you woke up and you're not quite sure if you're still in the living. Here are the 11 signs that you may have actually died and you might be on the other side. So sign number 1 is that you get to live your ideal, just like what I was explaining before with my grandma. So in my case, I love the woods, but if you love the ocean and love fishing, your version of the other side may be that you're always fishing or doing whatever that you really, really love to do. So if you wake up and you find yourself in your ideal setting, I'm sorry to say you might have crossed over. So sign number 2 is that you start to meet or you start to come in contact with your spirit guides or your loved ones that have crossed over before you. And I used to have recurring dreams when I was very young. I do believe in hindsight that these were actually memories of my time between lives or times that I died in other lifetimes. And in these dreams, I would meet with people that were familiar but I forgot about. And in the dream, I'd be like, oh my God, where did you come from? I know who you are, but I forgot about you during this whole lifetime. So that's a very common sign that you have crossed over and reached the other side as well. Sign number 3, and this is explained a lot in different books and in different references, that when we cross over and we meet with our guides, we start to do what's called our life review. That is, we get to, with our guides, look over our whole lives and ascertain what we accomplished, how we grew, what we may need to learn more about, and so forth and so on. So if you cross over, you meet with some people that you don't know, and they're telling you about your life, there is a good chance that you have made it to the spirit world. As we continue to solve the mystery of life after death, the 4th sign of the afterlife is that it's a mental realm, and what we think we create. So we have the power to create whatever scenarios or situations that we desire on the other side. And we do that here in the living also, but the physical world is much more dense on the other side. And it's those thoughts that we keep repeating day after day, or those belief systems that are ingrained in us year after year. Eventually we start to create scenarios that match that in the physical world. That's what the law of attraction is about. But in the spirit world, it happens instantaneously. So the 5th sign is the classrooms. And what I mean by that is that when we cross over, our spiritual lessons continue. So we're learning a lot spiritually in our bodies. And then when we leave our bodies, those lessons continue. And we get placed with souls that are learning similar lessons in certain groups, and we call those the classrooms. And we all have a job on the other side, and we're learning what our job is. Like some spirits may help babies come into the world. Other spirits may help people to cross over and find their way back home. And other spirits may help with advances in medicine, for example. So we learn what our job is, and then we start to do our jobs. And then the sixth sign is that all pain ceases to exist. I've had this explained to me a lot, that through different spirits that were coming through, that once you leave your body, any suffering that you had by being ill or whatever happened to you, it's like it never even happened. It's like waking up from a dream. It's like it never even happened. The seventh sign that you have crossed the veil and have made it to the other side is that you experience pure joy and pure love always. And that night my grandma was coming through, she told me that think about the time that you were the most joyful in your life, or the happiest, or the most in love. Then multiply that by 100. That is what we get to experience all the time here in the spirit world. Death is nothing to fear. It's your reward for a job well done. And I actually have a video with all of my grandma's messages that you can check out after this one if you like. So the eighth sign is that time is different, and time has a whole different meaning. I wouldn't necessarily say that time is an illusion, but I would say that time is more, shall we say, circular, that all time can coexist in the present moment. And when you're on the other side, you really see what the passage of time really is, which is just really a measure of the change of rate of energy more than anything. So time has a completely different meaning, and just for conjecture, an example, like 1 year may happen in a day or something like that on the other side. So the ninth sign is that there are different levels of the spirit world, and you discover that there's different levels or different energies that you go into depending on how you live your life. So when you cross over, you realize that everything is energy. Everything that you did in your life has an effect on your energy, and it dictates what happens in your afterlife. So what all these religion and spiritual paths are saying is essentially true, in my opinion. And I don't believe in a hell, by the way. I just believe there's different levels of heaven or different levels of the spirit world. Some spirits, I hate to say get stuck, but some spirits kind of dwell sort of in between the worlds for a while until they figure out, for whatever reason, maybe they're afraid or they don't believe they're dead or whatever, and they miss the natural progressions of souls when the other side opens up. Now, this isn't a video about stuck spirits or anything like that. I may do that in another video. But suffice it to say that it can happen, but you won't hear about like ghosts or hauntings for more than a couple of 100 years. Eventually all souls are going to figure it out and move to the other side. But the in-between you can take as one level, and if somebody does really terrible things and they're stuck in, say, a lower vibration of the spirit world where they have to learn and grow through that experience. Or sometimes when people die tragically or take their own life, they have to learn some lessons and take some of their baggage with them to the other side and learn that way. So the 10th sign is that you can connect with things in the physical, and that's why when your loved ones are here, you may hear noises or things may move, or that's how mediums work. Basically, the spirit world has to be aware of the physical world for mediums to be able to give messages, right? So when you are on the other side and say you've had your life review and you've acclimated, say, to the spirit world, some spirits will develop the ability to come through and see what's going on in the physical world. And the 11th sign is that you realize that everything is energy, and you realize, if you didn't realize that in the living, that everything that you've thought, believed, said, everything is energy, and it's through that combination of energies is how your reality is created. So you realize that the law of attraction really does work, and that everything has a vibration and a frequency. What vibrations that you hold in your life dictate what you experience in your life and what you attract and who you attract into your life. So you really get to see this from a very, very clear vantage point. Those are the 11 signs. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And leave us a comment and subscribe to this channel, and that's going to help YouTube to share this information out to more people. So if you feel like this is valuable information for other people, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you with the next video.